The complicated bond, Sister Wives Mykelti Brown reflects on her relationship with Robyn Brown. In the ever-evolving and deeply intertwined world of the reality series Sister Wives, the dynamics among the Brown family members often reveal the fragile balance of emotion, loyalty, and personal growth. One of the more unexpected stories emerging recently comes from Mykelti Brown Padron, daughter of Christine Brown and ex-wife of Kody Brown, and her complicated relationship with Robyn Brown, Kody's fourth and final wife. For many fans of Sister Wives, which chronicles the unique lifestyle and challenges of a plural family, the revelation that Robyn Brown and Mykelti had once shared a close bond, and now find themselves barely communicating, is both surprising and poignant. Mykelti's interview sheds light not only on her personal journey but also on the broader emotional landscape that the Browns navigate. Early ties, how Robyn and Mykelti connected. When Robyn joined the family as Kody's fourth wife in 2010, she entered a household already complicated by 3 previous marriages and 13 children, many of whom had a web of existing relationships that were far from simple. Despite this, Robyn and Mykelti forged a unique connection. Mykelti was the only sibling from Kody's earlier marriages who had a notably favorable relationship with Robyn, which was not only unusual but also vital in bridging gaps within the family. Mykelti describes how Robyn saved her during a gritty period of struggle. At that point in her life, Mykelti was experiencing intense personal upheaval and familial conflict, compounded by the stresses of growing up in a plural family with ongoing tension. Robyn's presence and support came as a lifeline, offering emotional stability and perhaps even a sense of belonging when Mykelti needed it most. Mykelti describes this support as almost life-saving, suggesting that without Robyn's intervention, she's uncertain whether she would have made it through those difficult years, underscoring how significant the relationship truly was. The present reality, silence and distance. Fast forward to today, and the bond between Robyn and Mykelti is decidedly more complicated. According to Mykelti, they are not currently talking a whole lot. While they have not completely severed ties, the active communication that once defined their relationship has dwindled. This shift from close connection to distance reflects broader fractures within the family. The Browns, known for their complicated interpersonal relationships, recently revealed through Christine Brown's memoir that Robyn and Kody had cut ties with Mykelti, signaling a complete breakdown in relationships with some family members. Mykelti's move from Utah to Charlotte, North Carolina, with her husband Tony Padron and their 3 children further symbolizes a physical and emotional separation from the family epicenter. She has openly expressed the need to figure out who I am and what my feelings are, indicating that her journey is one of self-discovery and healing beyond the familial drama. The struggle for understanding, mixed feelings and doubts. One of the most compelling aspects of Mykelti's reflections is her internal conflict. She grapples with the question of why Robyn once drew close to her. Was it genuine compassion, or was it strategic? Mykelti says she has wondered if Robyn saw her as the weak link and deliberately tried to cultivate a relationship as a way to gain influence within the family. Such suspicion has been planted by others in the family circle and has led her to read up on behavior stuff in an attempt to understand possible manipulation or ulterior motives. However, Mykelti also acknowledges the genuineness of Robyn's support. She acknowledges that perhaps Robyn's impulse to reach out was rooted in genuine concern and empathy for her struggles with family and siblings. This duality, balancing feelings of betrayal and appreciation, is part of what makes their story so emotionally resonant. The broader family context. To fully grasp the meaning of Mykelti and Robyn's fractured relationship, it's important to understand the overall family structure and tensions within the Brown household. Kody Brown's polygamous lifestyle involves multiple wives, currently 4, and many children spread across these relationships. Robyn, as the youngest of these wives and mother to Kody's youngest children, occupies a distinct and sometimes polarizing role in the family. While she initially connected with Mykelti and some siblings, fissures have emerged as alliances shifted and personal differences deepened. Christine Brown, Mykelti's mother and Kody's first wife, has also become publicly estranged from Robyn and Kody, as revealed in Christine's memoir. This estrangement trickles down, affecting relationships within the next generation, including between Mykelti and Robyn. Emotional impact on Mykelti. Emotionally, the situation is taxing for Mykelti. Acting as a bridge trying to hold the family together placed considerable weight on her shoulders, leaving her to navigate complex feelings of loyalty, betrayal, and confusion. Mykelti has candidly shared that she's all over the place and confused, a reflection of how difficult it is to reconcile mixed motivations and fractured relationships within a family that's been publicly scrutinized for years. Her move away from Utah reflects her need to step back from the chaos and carve out her sense of identity and stability. The physical distance perhaps offers the psychological space to heal and assess her place relative to the family drama. The role of public scrutiny. The exposure of the Browns' lives on reality TV means that every family conflict quickly becomes public knowledge. Fans of Sister Wives have followed these relationships closely and often react passionately on social media, sometimes exacerbating tensions. For Mykelti, this public attention adds another layer of complexity. Dealing with family disputes is difficult enough without intense external opinions and speculation. Her openness in interviews and appearances shows a desire for authenticity and understanding, even as she navigates the complexities of family dynamics under a public microscope. The future of Mykelti and Robyn's relationship. Where does this leave Mykelti and Robyn? Despite minimal current communication, neither Mykelti nor Robyn have publicly ended their relationship. For Mykelti, the path forward involves understanding her feelings fully and determining whether rebuilding the relationship is possible or even healthy. Family relationships, particularly those encompassing blended and plural families, are intrinsically complex and frequently dynamic. Time, distance, and individual growth could facilitate either reconciliation or permanent separation between these two women who once found solace in each other. Lessons from their story. The relationship between Mykelti and Robyn offers several insights into family dynamics in high-stress, high-profile plural families. Emotional survival. Sometimes, unlikely bonds form as lifelines during tough times, regardless of later complications. Mixed motives. Relationships can be based on both genuine care and strategic positioning, and recognizing this complexity is important. Personal growth. Physical and emotional distance can be essential for healing and self-discovery. Public pressure. Reality TV scrutiny adds emotional strain beyond typical family issues. Family fractures, differences in values, loyalty, and communication often lead to painfully complicated relationships. Final thought. Mykelti Brown's candid reflections reveal more than just the story of two women in the Sister Wives family. They highlight the fragile nature of human relationships amid shifting family dynamics, personal pain, and the search for identity and trust. Her words capture a universal truth: family connections don't always remain fixed in time. They evolve, sometimes growing stronger, sometimes fraying, but always deeply affecting the individuals involved. In Mykelti's story, we see the courage it takes to face those changes honestly, even when the future is uncertain. Mykelti and Robyn, a fractured bond. In the ever-shifting emotional terrain of Sister Wives, few relationships capture the complexity of the Brown family quite like the one between Mykelti Brown-Padrón and Robyn Brown. What began as an unlikely connection between a struggling teenager and a new stepmother slowly evolved into something deeply meaningful, only to fracture under the weight of family conflict, power dynamics, and years of unresolved tension. Mykelti's recent reflections offer a rare, unfiltered look at what it truly meant to grow up inside a plural family where love, loyalty, and survival were often intertwined. This is not simply a story about two people drifting apart. It is a story about how children absorb the emotional consequences of adult choices, how gratitude can coexist with doubt, and how healing sometimes requires distance rather than reconciliation. A family built on complexity. To understand Mykelti and Robyn's relationship, it's essential to understand the environment in which it formed. The Brown family, led by Kody Brown, was already an intricate emotional ecosystem long before Robyn entered the picture. 3 wives, more than a dozen children, and decades of unresolved grievances created a structure that demanded constant emotional negotiation. For the children, stability was often promised but rarely delivered. Attention was divided. Conflict simmered beneath the surface. And as the family grew more public through reality television, private struggles became part of a national conversation. Mykelti, Christine Brown's daughter, grew up in the middle of this emotional crossfire. She was expressive, sensitive, and often misunderstood, traits that made her both visible and vulnerable in such a large family. By the time Robyn joined the Browns in 2010 as Kody's 4th wife, Mykelti was already navigating adolescence in an environment filled with emotional inconsistency and unspoken expectations. Robyn's arrival and an unexpected connection. Robyn Brown's entrance into the family marked a turning point for everyone involved. For the existing wives, it introduced jealousy, imbalance, and feelings of displacement. For many of the children, Robyn represented disruption, someone new who seemed to command more of their father's time and attention than anyone before her. Yet Mykelti reacted differently. While many siblings struggled to accept Robyn, Mykelti gravitated toward her. Their bond formed quickly and, at the time, uniquely. Robyn noticed Mykelti's pain, listened to her frustrations, and offered something Mykelti desperately needed: focused emotional support. This connection stood out precisely because it was so rare. In a family where children often felt emotionally overlooked, Robyn's attention felt validating. Mykelti has described this period as one of intense personal struggle, and Robyn's presence as something close to life-saving. Whether intentional or instinctual, Robyn stepped into a role that no one else seemed to fill at that moment. "She saved me," the power of being seen. When Mykelti says Robyn saved her, the statement carries emotional weight. It reflects the experience of someone who felt invisible and suddenly felt seen. Robyn provided reassurance during a time when Mykelti was overwhelmed by family tension, identity confusion, and emotional isolation. In large families, attention becomes a form of emotional currency. Robyn spent hers on Mykelti when few others did, and that investment forged a bond rooted in gratitude and trust. For Mykelti, Robyn wasn't just her father's new wife, she was a source of stability in an unstable world. But relationships formed during vulnerability often carry unspoken risks. What begins as support can later feel complicated when power dynamics shift, becoming the bridge, and the burden that followed. As the only child from Kody's earlier marriages who openly embraced Robyn, Mykelti became something of an emotional bridge within the family. She defended Robyn to skeptical siblings and attempted to ease tensions between opposing sides. On the surface, this role was praised as maturity. In reality, it was emotional labor. Being the bridge meant absorbing pressure from both sides. Mykelti carried the weight of maintaining harmony in a family already fracturing at its core. Over time, that burden took a toll. Bridges crack quietly, and Mykelti's role was never sustainable, especially for someone still figuring out who she was. Doubt creeps in. As relationships within the Brown family deteriorated, Mykelti began to re-evaluate the foundation of her bond with Robyn. Conversations with siblings and shifts in family alliances introduced a troubling question: was Robyn's closeness genuine, or strategic? Mykelti has openly wondered whether Robyn saw her as the weak link, someone vulnerable who could be drawn close as a way to secure influence within the family. This idea didn't erase the comfort Robyn once provided, but it complicated it. Mykelti found herself researching behavioral patterns, trying to make sense of whether care and manipulation can coexist. At the same time, she acknowledges that Robyn may have simply acted out of empathy. This internal conflict, holding appreciation and suspicion simultaneously, captures the emotional truth of many fractured family relationships. Intentions can be sincere, and outcomes can still cause harm. Power, polygamy, and shifting loyalties. Polygamous families operate on subtle hierarchies. Time, affection, and authority are never evenly distributed, and Robyn's growing closeness to Kody altered the family's balance of power. As Robyn became more central, relationships around her shifted, and Mykelti found herself caught in the fallout. Christine Brown's eventual decision to leave Kody marked another rupture. Her estrangement from both Kody and Robyn reshaped family dynamics across generations. According to Christine's memoir, Robyn and Kody later cut ties with Mykelti entirely, a revelation that confirmed what Mykelti had already felt emotionally: the bridge had collapsed. Communication dwindled. Silence replaced connection. Distance as a form of healing. Mykelti's move from Utah to Charlotte, North Carolina, with her husband Tony Padron and their children was more than a change of scenery. It was an act of self-preservation. Physical distance created emotional space to reflect, to heal, and to redefine her identity outside the constant pull of family drama. She has spoken candidly about needing to figure out who she is and what she feels, free from inherited loyalties and expectations. In stepping away, Mykelti chose clarity over chaos. Living with ambivalence. What makes Mykelti's story resonate so deeply is her refusal to simplify it. She does not rewrite history to make it easier to bear. She honors the support Robyn once gave her while questioning the context in which it occurred. She allows gratitude and grief to coexist. This ambivalence is not confusion, it is emotional maturity. Healing does not always come with clean resolutions. Sometimes it comes with honesty, boundaries, and the courage to sit with unresolved truths. The pressure of public scrutiny. All of this unfolded under the relentless gaze of reality television. Every conflict became public discourse. Fans took sides. Narratives hardened. Nuance was often lost. For Mykelti, Processing deeply personal pain in such a public arena added another layer of difficulty. Yet she continues to speak openly, not to assign blame, but to seek understanding. In doing so, she reminds viewers that behind every storyline are real people navigating real consequences. What this relationship reveals. At its core, the story of Mykelti and Robyn is not about villains or victims. It is about how emotional needs collide with dysfunctional systems. It is about how children adapt in ways that help them survive, and later require healing. It is about the long-term impact of family structures that prioritize ideals over emotional safety. Mykelti's reflections offer a powerful reminder: love can be real, and still complicated. Support can be genuine, and still leave scars. And sometimes, the bravest thing a person can do is step away and choose themselves.